Hi there. Thanks for joining me today. 30 minutes at my desk as usual. So whatever I happen to be doing. Now today, what I happen to be doing is finishing touches finally on this baby. So much for my plans for having it in my Etsy shop on Monday. I'll be lucky if I can get it in my shop today. If not, well, there's always tomorrow. My studio is like the land of misfit toys. There's always tomorrow. um, but I have got a lot done. There's a little. Where'd it go? Oh, I know. I got to put something in there because I ended up using it here. This on this page from Edith's book, The Song Thrush and Young, she did an egg of the song thrush's egg, which is so beautiful, and I bet they are so tiny. The blue reminds me of a robin's egg blue, and I was able to save the poem that she had. I had to do some fancy schmancy cutting, and because it was printed like this so that the reader knows what order to read it in, I just stamped 1 and 2 up there, and it fits behind there. So you know what, it got used up, and it's nice and safe in behind this little Dutch door. And I'm going to have to find something pretty. I have this left to use up. I wonder if that will fit back there. Oh, it will. We might find something to do with this. We'll see. I really do think this is done. I didn't want to do too much. I put in a little, it's actually a thank you card for after somebody's died. Which I guess isn't all that good considering the disease I've got. Yikes. But I mean it in appreciation. Whoever purchases this, the proceeds are going to go to the Liver Foundation of Canada to help fund liver research. So that's why it was appropriate, in appreciation. But back here on this side, it had a little, when somebody dies, kind words are a comfort. It's something like that. It's to thank, when you send out a thank you afterwards, if people have made a donation or sent flowers or all those nice things that people do to try their best to help. So I covered that up by making a pocket and then turning it into a journaling spot there. So that's the other side. So now it's no longer a funeral thank you card, but not that I don't mind funeral thank you cards, but in this case I wanted it just to be a thank you card. But I decided I haven't made tags in like forever. So there's 7 signatures in this book, and I made 7 tags. That might be a record for me. I felt like I was channeling Nancy from Wishes and Weeds when I was making my tags, although they're not to the caliber of hers. But nevertheless, all of them have a page from the book. And then this one, I was able to use what was left of the lining of the spine. So you can still see the faint, the morning glories there, and the little harp. And then it still says Hearst and Company right there. So if it looks familiar, it's because it was right there. I like that. That sort of thing makes me happy. I think that's what for me, that's what junk journaling's all about. I shouldn't say I think that's what junk journaling's about, because junk journaling is what the artist makes it. But for me, this artist, that's what it's all about. And then I found this in a book, and it says journalist on it. But it's a rather naughty picture. But you know what? Some of us can be a little risque. So anyhow, I don't want to give them all away until I do my flip through. But I saved some, and some of them I've left up to the new owner. This little piece of tissue was still left over. This is one of the original. You know how they put extra end papers in? So I put it back into the book, and same with this one is another extra paper that was in the original text block. So that went back in to be used, but however the new owner wishes. And then I just I had fun. Even a little Beatrix Potter got put in there. So I'm very, very happy with how this quick little journal turned out. I love this one. It's rather timely. The American Woman. So, yes. And it's purple. So that matched too. That played a big role, I must confess. I put on two. I still had some leftovers of the scrapbook paper that I used for the end papers. I had some leftovers. So I put some word snippets on them, and I wanted it to be liver-worthy. So one says hope, and one says strong. I thought those were two good ones to use. So, and I'm practically doing a flip through. I left the back sides blank for the new owner. Oh, there we go. I didn't know what to do with this one last little piece, so I just lengthened this wherever it went. Oh, it's so pretty. It's one of my favorites. There, this one. It's embossed. Isn't that something? Anyhow, in order to get all these pretty flowers, it means that this side gets kind of shortchanged. So I lengthened it a little bit with some of the scrap paper. Just pretty. But we had fun. Me, myself, and I had fun. And I thought I did WWND. As I was working on my, okay, I've got to make 7 tags. What would Nancy do? And she would put, you know, the extra ruffly bows on, and she would put lace on, and she'd probably do a bit better job and put a whole bunch of collaging. But I think I did all right with my what would Nancy do, as I channeled her. There's a little house wren, and the poem is about the wren's nest. So how cute. I was able to find one in amongst all my books over there on the shelves. So I have a little thrift haul. Hubby was home yesterday. Lucky me, I got to go to the dentist. I had the last 2 of those ugly old metal fillings drilled out. They were getting loose. And of course, they worry about cavities developing underneath. So they said, all right, time for those ones to come out. I'd rather give birth than go to the dentist, which is clear by the fact that I have 5 children. That's always good for a laugh when I get a new dentist. Thank goodness for nitrous. Anyhow, so I went to the dentist, and then and I phoned home and I said, do you need me? Because it was his day off. I mean, I like him to also enjoy his day off. And he said, do whatever you want. And of course, you know what that means. My car knows the way. And so I have a little bit of a thrift haul, and then I need to finish doing these two Nana's bookmarks. One is going to go into this beautiful the little green dream. And then the other one is going to eventually, I will be hopefully finishing this weekend, the Domestic Goddess. So this one's going in the Domestic Goddess, but let's do a thrift haul. So give me a second to grab all the things and we'll get going. Okay, so it worked out well that my dentist appointment and hubby's day off worked out on Senior's Day at my favorite little shop. So I spotted this picture. Come on, picture. I spotted this picture actually last week and I put it back because I thought, no, I'm not paying that. I don't necessarily... Let's come back. That's as far as it'll let me. I don't necessarily want the picture inside it, but I loved this frame. It's really thick. I love old thick gold frames. It must have got dropped because that corner looks decrepit and in need of help. And it did me a favor because it looks like I'll be able to open it up easily and put something I want inside it. Not that I don't mind that little angel, but I would, there's lots of other paintings, or I don't know yet what I would want inside such a beautiful frame. I don't mind when frames have chips and bangs and things like that. And what I like about this one is you can tell it's the real deal in that the frame is wood and then all this extra that's on it, you can see the plaster there. You can get frames like this nowadays, but they're plastic. They've been, molded to look like this and painted gold, which is fine. They're still pretty, and I still have some up on my wall because from a distance they're beautiful. But when you can find an old one that actually is the wood with the plaster on it, at least for me, I very happy. So it was Senior's Day and it was Green Label Day. I wish it was Blue Label Day because that's still quite a bit. I forget what my senior's discount is. And at this store, even though it was Green Label Day, 75% off green labels. Whoa. They'll still give you the senior's discount on top of the 75% off. Yes, it pays to be old sometimes. So I found that. Let's put that over there. Then I was wanting a basket to go in my ensuite to put little rolled up face cloths. And I found this pretty one. And it's got glass with fabric underneath. I was hoping to find a way to take it apart. Oh, I might be able to. I was hoping to put some fabric I like, but mind you, that's not bad. That fabric isn't bad. It would match my bathroom because my bathroom is sort of I love green. Even though red's my favorite color, I can only use it as accents. It's so bold. But this, yeah, you know what? I'm going to leave it be. Even though some of it's a little bit sad here. Again, on a normal day, if it wasn't Senior's Day, I would have said, oh, that's pretty. Oh, well. I'm getting good at saying, oh, well, now when I'm thrifting. And I'm quite proud of myself for that. And I think this is suitable for bathrooms because of the the glass on the top, just in case water gets splashed through that. Anyhow, so I can, from my days of working in a salon, you know, when we used to roll up the hair towels, I roll up my little face cloths so I can grab one each day, and that's going to be perfect for face cloths. Now let's see, what else did I get? Because there were a few things. Oh yeah, this was good. Oh, this was one of my green label ones, so 75% off. And it is, it was just a whole bunch of vintage cards, which I didn't necessarily need. Oh, I hate when they don't know how to wrap things. Mind you, I use the cards more often than I use the envelopes. I need to start making better use of my envelopes. I have quite a collection of envelopes because I like to use the cards write in signatures. Anyhow, this one is vintage. It's not that old, but Hope and Healing. Oh, a German missionary pastor working in Turkey. Anyhow, I just thought it was pretty, and I like little ones to put in journals. These ones, are pretty for using, even if it's just to fussy cut the beautiful artwork on them. So I found, like I said, a whole bunch of these for, well, 99 cents, so 25 cents. Look how pretty. Like, that would make two pretty fussy cuts there. And then look how pretty. Look at that. Green and yellow. Oh, I didn't see that one. The little house in the background. I could live there. Little roses. Oh, on your wedding day. These ones I like to still use. Whether the recipients realize that they're getting a vintage card or not. If they know me, they'll know, oh, that's Catherine. This is actually old. Then I know that they'll really... most people that know me also appreciate the joy of something old. What else did I get? Oh, I got this. It's not old. It's one of those things made to look old. But I got it because it says Brown Brothers Company. So, and of course, Brown is my maiden name. And I only have brothers. So I thought that this was... it's going up on my wall somewhere. I gotta find room with all the raspberries, and I like the colors with the red and the green, but mostly I love that it said Brown Brothers. So, seniors discount day. I will find a different way to hang it up. Probably just remove this and put two nails. Hang it that way. So I was happy to find that. What else did I find? Oh, I found this for the backyard. This guy here, that feels like it got bent. There, that's better. He's going to go up on my fence in my backyard. I will send a picture when I can. I love birdies. What else? Oh, do you think I could find I wanted to put some Eloise Wilkin's fussy cuts into my domestic goddess. Do you think I could find? I must have 5 copies of the Child's Book of Prayers, because I think that one has my favorite of little children's. Do you think I could find any of them anywhere? And I fear I thought, what have I got these for? Why do I need so many? I'm quite sure I was in one of those moods one day and saved one, donated the other 4, and now I couldn't find the one. But thank goodness I got these over at my St. Vincent de Paul store, and they were 25 cents each. So someone heard my prayers and sent me a new one. So, and this one is new. Oh, and it looks like her name was Catherine. Catherine or Caitlin? You can tell the new one, Eloise Wilkin's, lived long enough that the early versions, if you're lucky enough to have an early one, and I've got an early one that I won't cut up, simply because it's so old. I love it. But her earliest of these books, all the children were white. And she lived long enough to do a second version and add in children of color, which is nice. That because I remember looking at the really old ones and thinking, oh wow, where are the cute, beautiful little boy. I fussy cut this many times. This one, I love the robin with the babies. Anyhow, that warmed my heart when I love Eloise and her work so much, and to find out that she redid a few of her best-selling books, redid some of the illustrations to portray more children of all the wonderful rainbow color of children that there are in this world. That made me very happy. So anyhow, there, that sermon for the day is over with. Now this looks like an old one because it says 49 cents up there. So yeah, and there's no barcode on it. So I hadn't seen this one before, but it will get used. Look at all those children singing. Now this is interesting. Okay, 76. It's not that old, but it's prior to barcodes. But she's got a child of color here portrayed. So she was ahead of her time. Way to go, Eloise. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful. Oh, I might have to use some of these in the Domestic Goddess. Love that. Wait, is that Eloise? Corinne Malvern? No. Look at that. I've got the wrong illustrator. Corinne Malvern. Now, why have I never heard of her? Oh, and I bet a bunch of you were yelling at your screen right now. Catherine, you have the wrong artist. She's got very similar style. I can see why the publishers snapped her up, because she's got a very similar style to Eloise. See, now I'm wondering about when I did the research into the artwork, changed in the newer version. Whether Eloise, it's just so close to her style. Oh, I'm going to have to read up more now to find out whether it was Eloise who made those new pictures, or whether it was a different artist. Did Eloise live long enough to do the changes? Here I am telling stories, and I could be mistaken. Oh, I love being able to go on a hunt like that. And of course, off on a tangent. Sorry. Little cards, found little cards. So happy to do that. Look at those little birdies, a wedding gift. And look, the little tail sticking up. Can you see that? I might have to find a way. Oh, and that little rose is sticking out. And so is that little rose. Oh, one of these may have to go in. Look at that. Come on. Why don't we get these anymore? Mind you, these are for gifts. People seldom give gifts anymore at weddings. It's usually get out your checkbook. These are cute, and I like these because they're blank. These ones. And I got two of the same. So, and then this, I might find a way. They're Post-it notes, but I might stick a couple into the little green little fairies. I wish I'd had some to put in the Fairy Queen, but I'll be making more Fairy Queens in the future, so interesting. All right, so there's that, and then there's just a little bit more. I think I have. Oh, the last one is just useless. Yeah. Oh my goodness, brain. Okay, come on, you can do it. Useful, not useless. I needed a bigger jar for coffee for out on the counter, rather than the big ugly tins. And at the dollar store, I don't know why they still call them the dollar store, but this is probably $5 now, which is still a great price, but I was able to get it with my senior's discount, so it was $1.50. And no, this was also St. Vincent de Paul, so I didn't get a senior's discount, but $1.50, that's a good price. I decided to give up my Keurig, so I got a little 5-cup drip maker, and I just decided I had switched over to the pods, the refillable pods for the Keurig, because I didn't like throwing out the used pods. That felt but not good for the environment. But I also didn't like having to start taking them all apart, because you can take them apart and rinse them and recycle. And that was a nuisance too. So I bought some washable Keurig pods. But I was still finding the flavor of the coffee just wasn't the same. And so I went back to, I got a good old drip coffee maker. And I'm very, very happy. And now that also gives me, ta-da, coffee filters to rinse and use for crafting, which I already have, because one of the thank you little Catherine cards going out already has, I've already used one of them on the thank you little Catherine card. And for when I do my stroll for liver on Sunday, wish me luck. We'll see how far I can stroll for liver. Anyhow, so normally I had this smaller jar because we were making 1 cup at a time of coffee in the morning, and now we've got a little pot, just a little one, little 5-cup maker, which is perfect for the two of us. And but I still hate having to refill all the time. So there we go. I found that. So this needs to go in the dishwasher and get cleaned. And that was my thrift haul. I think I did really well, especially sending out that I needed one of these for my domestic goddess, and sure enough, the thrift gods provided, and also this one. So Corinne Malvern. Now I got to find out who you are, Corinne. Corinne or Corinne? I've heard it pronounced both ways. And some tiny little cards. Happy to find those. Then I got to go out in the backyard today and hang this beautiful fellow up. Although part of me is thinking about painting him to look like a robin. I'm thinking about it. Robins are my favorite. So we did pretty good. Let me move all these. That's... I'll let you know if I opt to put something different. Well, I will. I'll let you know what I put in this frame. My next thing that I want to find, so I'm sending it out there into the universe, the thrifting universe. I want to find an oval picture frame that's not too thick, not too heavy. I just want the frame. I saw on TikTok someone had made a door wreath using a picture frame, and then down in one corner off to the side they had a little bird's nest and some flowers and twigs and branches, sort of a little cluster on one side, and then the rest was the frame and some little artificial tiny little bird eggs in the nest. And that's what I want now, but I'm going to need I liked that it was an oval frame rather than a round frame. So I'm going to be on the hunt for an oval, not too thick, not too heavy frame. So there it is. Make it so, thrifting universe. Let's get to work on these since we've got a few more minutes. So those who have never seen me make one of my Sunnyside Journal 2 Nana cards, bookmarks, I start off with a copy of the photo strip I have of this is my mother and this is her mother, and they both went by Nana. So that's why I call it a 2 Nanas bookmark, because I make a thank you bookmark out of it. The back of these has evolved over the years. Sometimes it had just tea-dyed paper. Sometimes it had leftover offcuts of the end papers from whatever book it's going to go into. Like here, I would have used the leftover pieces. But lately, my newest thing is it's one of my ways of saying thank you. So it says thank you for purchasing a Sunnyside Journal, which of course, I guess about a year ago I went back to using. I tried to switch over to just using my name for, I think of my journals as art, but I am known by Sunnyside Journals, and I decided that I need to embrace Sunnyside Journals. The junk journal world has embraced it, and why not I? So anyhow, so I decided You know, this should be one of my ways of saying, it could be one of my ways of saying thank you, is to put that on the back. So for the time being, because things always change, is my Two Nanas bookmarks is now a way of saying thank you, in addition to just writing a little note saying thank you. Because I'm always grateful when someone decides to make one of my journals their own. I glue them onto chipboard, so they're a little bit thicker, a little heavier, and then I round off these edges with a sanding block. And then because it's chipboard, it's too thick to use a corner chomper. So I simply clip it, a little tiny triangle with scissors, and then I just round it with my handy dandy sandpaper block. This is my favorite one. You can get them at dollar stores, but I like this one because I can put the sandpaper that I like in it and refill it. And one package of sandpaper sheets lasts me years. It's really easy to refill. You can get it at hardware store in the painting section, where you find the you know, the refill for when you're filling up your old holes from where you were hanging artwork and you're repainting, that sort of thing. It's there. What one's this? Richard sanding block. And it's, for me, this one's comfortable on my hands because of the arthritis. So sanding that really sharp edge off, because I use my crafting knife, a box cutter, to cut these once I've got them all glued together. It just makes it a little bit more professional feeling, and it just gives a really nice finish to it, and it makes this edge accept the ink when I age it. It makes it'll accept the ink much better. We'll finish this one together, and then I'll do this one off camera. So there we go. See how very quickly that little triangle becomes rounded just with your sanding block. You can get sanding blocks at the dollar stores. I find the grit a little too heavy for my liking, but they're definitely useful. I guess it's one of those things I've grown fussy about over my journaling years. Let me find a piece of paper. My sweetie pie. I am such a lucky woman. I know I say that all the time, but I am such a lucky person to find the partner that I have. So he was in here vacuuming for me. So first of all, lucky. And empties out my recycling box that I keep under my desk for papers and anything that's recyclable goes into it. And he puts those out every Tuesday for me. And I have this massive book of the complete works of Shakespeare. Seriously, I think it's 5 inches, 6 inches thick. That I think I got from my store that always has a free books box outside. And they're just handy to have for inking and gluing on your desk. So I always have it so I can grab one. I keep it under my desk near my recycling box. And I heard him up, vacuuming up here, and then I heard him yell out my name, well, my nickname that he calls me. And I said, yes. And he says, you've got a beaten up half of a big book up under your desk here. Is that important? Because he's grown to know you never know what's a treasure and what is trash. What's a wish or what is a weed, sort of thing. Anyhow, I said, yeah, that's not trash. That's important, because that's this book. I grab a few pages at a time. So I'm using, today I'm using vintage photo, but that changes up from time to time too, depending on my mood, depending on the journal. And I just go around the edge. Usually, now that I've turned my bookmark also into a little thank you, usually I'll take a moment and sign my signature here. Now, I find one of my, here it is, dark, and I go along this edge and darken up the chipboard so that it all looks unified, so that it doesn't look too homemade. I don't mind homemade, but not too homemade. I'd rather have it be, wowee, did somebody make this? That's my goal. With this side, I think I should explain to you, I sort of make a halo around each picture, just so that it sort of has a little bit of a glow in the center, and it really accentuates the fun they're having in the photo booth. I bet my Nana had never done that before, and my mom said, come on, let's do this. Makes me happy to see them having a nice time together, because eventually my Nana moved out to the West Coast, and I think my mother only saw her one more time in her life after that. So I love that. Now, crocodile and little hole, and then I like to put it on this end. Sorry, Nana, I'm piercing your ear again. There we go. And then we pick out, this one's going to go in the domestic goddess. The domestic goddess is sort of burgundy red, and it also is sort of a mustard yellow, and I think I'm going to go for the burgundy red. I think this afternoon one of the things I need to do is I need to find a how-to video, and I know it'll exist. YouTube has how-to videos on everything. On how to use, I now have a standing crocodile, one of those big ones that is upright. And I don't know how to use it to its best abilities. So I need to find a how-to. It comes with the instructions, but why read the instructions when you can watch a fun video and watch someone actually use it and show you? So there we go, a Toon Anna's bookmark. I'm going to hold off on what I put in there because I might have some leftover ribbon from something I've already made and put into it by the end, or I might use butcher's twine, butcher baker twine. I don't know yet, so we'll see. So this one will eventually look like this one. But that will be later on. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I appreciate you stopping by. If you're still here after all that chatter, I hope you'll take a second and click like. I hope you'll take a second and say hi or let me know how your day is going. And it's just fun to chat down in the comments. I really enjoy getting to know you. Yeah, have a great rest of your day. Take care. Bye.